Final rumor, and this is something pertaining to a movie we're about to see in a few weeks. Madam Web's coming out. It's a Sony Spider. What do they call it? Sony universe of Spider
Yeah.
Man. What? It's something stupid. Why couldn't they just call it Spider Verse and just move on? Like you can tell that's some executive bullshit right there.
Yeah.
Everyone else is calling it the Sony Spider Verse. They're calling it some dumb shit. That it's not even a good acronym. Anyway, uh, so yeah, Madam Web is coming out, and we have, I'm looking forward to it. But let's be honest, it doesn't look like it's gonna destroy the box office. And another thing it doesn't look like is that there is any Spider-Man anywhere doing anything in that movie. The only
Hmm.
spider people we see are the other girls, and this guy that's chasing after them apparently. But according to this rumor, Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland at different points were going to be the Spider-Man or the Spider-Man of that particular universe, and they were going to be referenced, and there was going to be all this stuff related to them. But apparently they got bumped out once they sort of realized that the time setting and period doesn't make
Hmm.
any sense to have the spider people in it, and they subsequently wrote them out completely. So there's no reference to Spider because apparently this is taking place in 2003. So, and to which
Hmm.
I say, but Tobey Maguire Spider Man right there. What do y'all?
That's true.
How hard is up? I just, people get paid good money to sit up here and come up with these stories, and this is the shit that they do. They think like, well, I can't make it. I can't figure it out. We're doing a woman who can see all these pathways through. She's basically dying and going back to the checkpoint. Every time
Hmm.
we can square that, but not just figuring out another spot. Okay, uh, Corey, was just tell me, am I wrong? Are they dropping? Did they drop the ball on this shit? Like, no Spider-Man. This is worse than Morbius having that
Hmm.
little Spider-Man, graffiti in the
Yeah,
background
the poster on the yeah
on the
on the
trailer, and then nothing in the damn movie.
exactly. Yeah, I think Sony is dropping the ball a lot with just all of their spider web universe, whatever they want to call it. Look, there's a couple of things, twofold for me. One, I'm glad that they're not in the film because I don't want them to shoehorn in Tobey Maguire if they can't get it right. And I would really hate for them to shoehorn him in this movie. But then on the opposite end, I'm really tired of Sony doing these movies without Spider-Man. To me, it's absolutely ridiculous. How can you do these movies without the main character? These characters are spin-offs of the main character. It just doesn't make any sense anymore. It's like trying to do like Batman, the Joker, the Riddler, and then trying to turn them into anti-heroes, but you never reference Batman. It just makes no sense to me. So I do think Sony is dropping the ball, but I am glad that if they couldn't figure out a way to do it, just don't do it at all. So that's
Yeah,
my take on it.
yeah, and I think it's probably a good thing they kept Tom Holland out of it. Why sully his name with this? I'm fooling around. To be honest, I think I get where they're coming from on this. They have all of these spider adjacent characters and no idea how to get them out there, so they're just throwing them into the deep end and just let it be.
Hmm.
All because here's the thing: every one of the women that are in this movie that in the comics, they're pretty cool spider people. You know,
They are.
they
Yeah.
every one of them in their own right are pretty cool. But the difference is
Hmm.
each one of them had a book and had a chance to build that character up into something. This one,
Correct.
they're literally just saying, "Hey, in another universe, you're going to be a spider person. That was really important. Audience liked them." I'm like, all right.
Hmm.
Whoever's writing this, I hope you make them really compelling and interesting in this story, because you are putting four really awesome characters in front of everyone,
Hmm.
and it's make or break time, you know. And
Yeah.
and if y'all don't
Yeah.
come hard, y'all don't come hard, forget about it. That no, they're gonna be dead in the water. No one will give a fuck about these characters anymore after this, and and
I
and
agree.
I'll be pissed because I know these characters, and it is a disservice to them if you're just sort of throwing them out there and just hoping for the best, like
And
crazy.
you know that's going to happen because they did four of them. I mean, that's too many. That's way too many. You're introducing four characters. Well, no, excuse me, five. This Spider-Man that's not even a Spider-Man. They just need somebody Spider-Man like in the movie,
Yeah,
which is the villain. Then you got Man Web and the other four Spider-Women. That's
yeah,
that's too many. I mean, you thinking we're doing Captain America Civil War, but we built ourselves up to that by knowing these characters previous. They're literally introducing all of these characters. We're supposed to automatically fall in love with them by Act Three.
yeah.
Ain't gonna happen.
Unless okay, again, unless the writing is just like top notch, it's just on point. Like I mean, they can do it. Guardians of the Galaxy had us on their side by Act Two. So I mean,
That's true.
it's the
True.
writing's got to be on point, but I
That's
mean,
true.
and the
That's
other thing
true.
is I don't understand Sony. Does Sony not see the way Marvel works? They draw from the like.
Hmm.
I get that they're drawn from the comics. This story is nowhere in the fucking comics. Nowhere. There
It's
you
it's
will
not.
not find this anywhere. You will find these characters doing things. I mean, obviously whoever this other character is, that's the villain spider person, he's obviously supposed to be like Ezekiel or something from the Clone Saga. Just do the fucking Clone Saga. Just do that. You could do. I can think of a way you could do the Clone Saga, reference Spider
Hmm.
Man appropriately. Bring in a Spider person appropriately. That's not because there's Ben Riley comes into play in that. You could bring Ben
Yeah.
Riley in and then not even talk about fucking Tom Holland, or Andrew Garfield's Spider Man.
Hmm.
You could bring Ezekiel in, and you could still write these ladies into this because it's the
Hmm.
Clone Saga. They could be you know what? Okay,
See, they
okay.
need you in the writers' room.
No, they don't. I keep saying I'm just a fan. I guarantee you, they're gonna come up with ideas in this movie that I will never have thought of. So I'm
Right.
not taking away. If you're a Hollywood screenwriter, you probably got some skills to make it happen. And whatever your worst day is probably my best day. So but I'm just saying this could be possible. You could do this. You could do the Clone Saga, make it make sense, and
Hmm.
introduce these ladies in a way that makes. I mean, across the Spider Verse and into the Spider Verse again, introduce characters that no casual person knew who the
Absolutely.
fuck they were, and it was awesome. So
Yes.
this is not an
Yes.
impossible, an impossible needle to thread, but
Yeah,
who.
that's true. It just has to be done right. It has to, you need the right writers to take us on a journey properly through the film. They just can't be shoehorned in and say, "Hey, like this person," and you just don't know enough about them, their background. That's where you and I are just thinking like, "Damn, this looking at this trailer, you're like, oh boy, this looks like something on UPN." I don't know, or or CW. You're like, I don't know, this looking shaky, baby. So,
It's looking like
but
Tyler Perry's The Spider Peoples. Yeah, it's
yes,
my
this is
my
looking real
my
shaky.
Medea and the Spider Peoples. So I don't know.
Yeah.
We gonna we'll see. I'm not trying to pre shit on this movie. I actually really 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 want it to be good. So I'm hoping. Here's hoping that it turns out good. So
I'm crossing
anyway,
my fingers too,
yeah,
Mo.
we're gonna talk about the movie when it comes out in a few weeks.